Hello everybody. Little video here on something important as we kind of like evolving. I say kind of because a lot of the people uh, don't go and look into the things, don't go dig into it. Especially that we're here in the age of Aquarius. Um, it's kind of like a little bit of sad because a lot of the things that we know, or a lot of the things that we kind of like learn. Um, but basically, of those things that we learn, we create certain things, we create certain situations. And when it comes to awakening of the soul wants to be free of certain things that kind of like acting as a jail in us, and we cannot be able to expand, we're not able to evolve. So today I'm going to be talking to you for something very important. It is about the soul evolution, how to evolve. In order you to evolve, you're going to be facing something very in particular that the ego is kind of like hiding itself in there. That is the principles that you're living your life. Those principles are gonna kind of like go a little bit deep. I want to show you some few things so that then you would understand the word paradigm, which is something that it's been created that it's control. We're gonna look at it into that point, and then we're gonna look at it. What is your kind of like your mission? Everybody was looking at the missions. Specifically, we're talking about within the twin flames, what this part is. And the more we find out that the more you evolve, you have to let it go of a lot of things. Who keeps you down? It keeps you below so you don't evolve. I know we promised to make some quite a few other videos. We'll try to make them this weekend over the next few days maybe. But this video, I believe it's very important to you guys because in order you to understand what to change, you need to understand what prevents you to change. And I caught this kind of like a hiding into the shadow of your kind of like a subconscious mind that affecting you on your conscious mind, and this is the principles. So what is the principles actually? Look into it. um, See, the principle, it's a rule of belief governing one's personal behavior, how you behave, how you create everything in your life. Genius is the ability to independently arrive and understand the concepts that would normally have to be taught by another person. And this is gonna be learning of how you to break the pattern of your principles. But why you have to breaking up your principles? What's that part of the principles? So here it's gonna be kind of like giving you a little bit of heads up of it. So here is your principle one. Here is your principle two. And here is your soul. Well, the soul wants to expand. The soul wants to grow. The soul wants to have unlimited freedom. Well, but inside of you, you're facing your principle one. That principle could be from so many things. I will give you some few examples. That could be I can only socialize with certain people, with certain caste. I can only listen a certain type of music. I have to, this is my principle, this is who I am. I only watching certain kind of movies. I only read a certain type of books. I only have this. I have this principle that I am acting like this. I have this principle in me. I don't accept these people. I have this principle in me that I don't. And everything that you hear about it, it is limitations. Those limitations inside of you, they put you in this box. And if you look at yourself right here and you want to grow your soul, now you go ahead, you're touching the frame of this cage of principle and you're bouncing back. You're touching this cage again and you're bouncing back. So you can't break it off. You can't do into it until you do your inner work and you understand that the principle that you have, it's breaking up. It doesn't help you for the growth of your soul. And then you do something very thing. The things that you do a rebellion against your own self. And that is going to be the time when you break your own principle. When you see that principle, then you're going to be go ahead and face a principle number 2. Maybe the principle number 1 is about movies. And principle number 2, maybe it is about music. What I'm saying this is that if you wanted to expand, you have to get off of this cage. Maybe if you have to go ahead and you like, for example, sci-fi movies like a Star Wars, maybe you should go ahead and watch a romantic movie. Maybe you should go watch The Notebook. Maybe you should go watch In Your Eyes. Maybe you should go watch Divergent. If you like, for example, um, um, comedies, maybe you should go ahead and watch some, let's say, for example, sci-fi movies. Just breaking in your pattern, by breaking your pattern, you're gonna be feeling that little by little, you're freeing your soul. If your principle 2, it, for example, it's a music, when you breaking up that pattern of the music, for example, I only listen this and I can only accept this, you're still looking at yourself against as limitations. But you have no idea what is your soul need. Maybe the soul, in order you to evolve within your soul, you have to go ahead and break this. Because whatever you want to hear your soul to grow, it's outside of this box because you already know what is in this box. The box is your music. It's the music that you love, it's the music that you like, but in order you to grow, in order you to expand, you can't stay in the same place. You have to learn something new. You have to expand. In order you to expand, you have to get off out of this box. Maybe listen at a different culture, maybe listen at a different parts, maybe listen to something else. If this, for example, it's not a music, this is a different cast. What I mean cast, okay? Cast, this is a certain type of the populations which you are kind of like into it. If you're like poor, you're in the poor caste. If you're in the middle income, you're in the middle income caste. If you're in the rich or ultra rich, and now that's different castes in there. So usually the people kind of like telling you don't socialize with very rich because they are such a such, which is again it's a limitation, or don't socialize with very poor because they are such a such and they cannot fit within our world. So here again, it's the limitations. Those are the limitations that the soul will seek. And later on, when you find out, is that the limitations, those principles inside of you, they were actually enforced in you. They were told to you. You accept them because they were told to you. So how the growth will happen inside of you is you will understand that those principles, they came in from the ego to create the control. And when the ego creates the control, it's using the limitations or the principles. If you look at it deep down into your own self, you will see that this is your part of your own mission. So when you go ahead and breaking up the principles that you see, and you're going to be changing your personal behavior now, you're going to begin something new. You're going to begin a new person. You're going to begin a new life. So what you expect in your own self is the next step. The next step is this, is the paradigm. A typical example of a pattern of something, of a model. You breaking up the model. You breaking up that mode when the people, the society, the religion, um, the friends around you, the place you grow up, everything, they created the model for you. And the base of the model, you create your principles. Now, since you're breaking the principles, you're facing the new models. The paradigm is a part of the condition of the mind, our conditioned thoughts, patterns. So we're gonna be go ahead and facing up your own patterns. What I mean by facing up your own patterns, for example, all your life you did something. So if this is your line of life, and here you were born at age 0, and here you're right now. So all your life you did a certain things until you break the pattern. Now, ever since you break the pattern of this point, you change something. You change your principles. You change your situation. You begin to socialize with different people. You begin to watching different movies. You begin to listen to different music. You begin to expand on your subconscious, and now your subconscious is creating this expansion inside of you. You begin more uh, open towards the normal people. You begin to be talking to everybody about the truth, about the things that's inside of it. So you're breaking up your pattern. When you're breaking up your pattern now is changed. Your pattern is completely different. And when you break into those paradigms, which is the age of Aquarius, those paradigms will help you to understand the most important things that you want to achieve. And the things that you wanted to achieve when breaking those principles and those paradigms within the society and everything else, it is about the freedom of the soul. Your soul, it's looking for its own freedom. Why? Why? Because the soul wants its own peace. When your soul is in peace, you can go ahead and see all the situations that happens in your life on different perspective. You won't be judging. You just look at it about two sides of the issue, the good and the bad, and you just like, well, let's see what will happen. Since you don't take either the good or the bad side, you allowing the situations to create within yourself. 90% of the time you will find yourself that the people put you in a situation that you have nothing to do with it. They put you in the situations between, for example, kids with parents and somebody just comes in, it's like, oh, my mom is this, my dad is this, oh, nah. They may put you at work and it's like, my boss is like this, my boss is like that, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? It's between you and the boss. What am I supposed to do? It's between you and your parents. And that's the part when it comes to the soul begins to understand the proper way of when you to give either advice or you kind of like give maybe a little piece of this inner peace inside of you, because peace, like a piece with a piece, there you go, it's a piece of the marker and a piece of internal peace. um, you give it to that person. You give the person the vibrations of the soul that's inside of you about this inner peace. And that's why the soul inside of it is the most interesting thing, because the soul is the essence or embodiment of a specified quality. And this is what's gonna create the new world, this specified quality. Most of the people living in a very bad relationships. They're living in a very bad relationship because of poor quality, the poor essence of embodiment of the soul, because the soul was not involved into the relationships. Since the soulmates, twin flames, divine partners, however you want to name it, okay, it all comes down to the one point. It is about love. And this quote is very good. He was a free soul. She wasn't trapped in his eyes. She was trapped in his eyes. That she went after him wherever he went. And that is the freedom of the soul. And a lot of the people don't understand the freedom of the soul, but they're looking for it. They want to see these patterns of be free. But what kind of free? Worry free. And to have the worry free is when you let everything that goes on inside of you in the hands of God and the hands of the universe. And in order you to do this, you have to stand kind of like in the front of your soul, but completely naked, not as a physical body, but completely honestly naked on the front of your own self. So you can go ahead and find the embodiment of the soul. Because when you embody the soul, you begin to have the vibrations where you begin to talk from one soul to another. Just when you pronounce the word, you also send out the vibration. And this is how, when the people see that you broke your own patterns, you breaking the paradigms that has been so long, for so long time, we were told that we have to control others, we have to be under control, our parents controlling us, and grandparents try to tell us what is the best thing to do in life. It's all about the control. But how about the control that was enhanced in you, that it has nothing to do with you, so you can evolve in the soul? And those are your own principles. Those are the own frames that you created, your inner gel inside of you. And this is why I believe that this video is so important for the people to understand that you have to free yourself up. Before you go out there and do the things up, you have to free yourself. When you free yourself, you gonna be allowing your soul to grow, to evolve, and to be a more beautiful. And then let the universe guide you to find the love as this. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this video is gonna help you out. Be love, and I'm looking for your comments.